Oh, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Friday, last trading day of the week. Hopefully, we'll make it a good one and end on a high note. But welcome to the live stream. Call it Crab Nation, Brad. Oh, look at Crab Nation, brand new to the team and first one in the room. Good morning. Let's see. We'll do a market analysis in just a few moments. We'll give everyone just a minute or two to join, and then we'll start talking about what we see in the market, what happened overnight, how the news played out this morning, and where do we see price action going today. All right, Brad, a new sniper. Oh, you're already long in Dow. All right, Crab. We'll take a look in just a moment. You might actually be in a good position already. Oh, hey, Ray. Good morning, everyone. London session was great. Already long from 9:18. Okay. All right. Jeez. Okay, Ray, you got in at the bottom. Nice. Very nice. What am I writing? I'm just looking at the different time frames. So I have a little chart here where I have from the weekly down to the 5 minute, just what price action looks like on each time frame. Just so I have whether it's bullish or bearish. Start looking for alignment. I don't know what I'm using it for yet. It's just something I just decided to do this morning, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it yet. But at least I don't have to remember it. I'll know which time frames I'm looking for that I'm looking for it to flip, and so I'll have certain expectations of price action, and then I'll look from there. All right, it's 20 after, so let's go ahead and jump into it so we can finish up before the opening bell. I guess we can start off with news this morning. We had core PPI and PPI month over month both announced, beating expectation, looks like by quite a bit. Building permits came in under expectation, but it was medium impact while the other two were high impact. Keep in mind, we do have a high and medium impact coming at 10 o'clock. So there will be some volatility still expected ahead of us that hasn't occurred yet. Not sure what that means for the opening bell. Usually the opening bell is not as volatile when there's 10 o'clock news, but we'll see in just 10 minutes how that plays out. So that's the news for this morning. So a mixed bag, with the high impact being positive and the medium impact being negative. Would already be out for a loss. Okay, well, good. Yes, and a loss. Okay, all righty. Oh, I see what you're saying, Brad. You're saying if you did in live, you would have lost, but since you're in demo, of course, you're on the right side and you're winning your trade. I get it. Uh, you know what? I hadn't even thought about that. Is the market closed on Monday? It might be. I guess it's President's Day. It's not a prominent holiday, so nothing I really thought about. Yep, Monday, February 19th. It is closed. So there we have it. And then the next time is March 29th for Good Friday. All right. Thanks for bringing that up. I didn't even have that on my radar. Appreciate it. All right, let's go ahead and quickly run through the market. Let's get back to the daily on the dollar and see where we are. I did see that it was trading above. It's still in the same range as those two liquidity points that we looked at. One was at 104.263, I believe, and then we have 104.5. So it's now trading above. And if I'm not mistaken, it pretty much took off the, just before the red folder announcement this morning. Yep, here we go. So we had a rejection of that level during the last hour, but so far this hour, it's reclaiming it and looks like it may want to challenge the high of last hour. So we'll have to watch and see how not only the opening bell affects the dollar, but also at 10 o'clock, we have another high impact news event and see what that does. I was hoping that we would see a lower dollar, but it looks like the dollar is a bit stronger than I thought. So it continues to move upwards. But that'll be something to take a look at right after 10 o'clock. All right, if we just jump over to the commodities, let's take a look at ES, see where we are daily. I took a early peek this morning. I could see that we had already taken yesterday's high. Generally not a good idea when I'm bullish to see the high already taken when I wake up. It doesn't mean price will be bearish for the day, but it does mean it doesn't have the eagerness that it would have had it not taken that level already. We can see on the daily after today, we'll likely have if we don't sell off, we'll have a fair value gap there that can push price. The ultimate high again is 5066. So if we start seeing higher prices back to the daily high, then that should be our next pool of liquidity, which would be 5067, which is essentially Monday's high. So that's on the weekly candle. That would be your weekly high. So we'll see if we're challenging weekly highs. If we bounce over to the hourly, just trying to run through this quickly so we don't miss the opening bell. We can see during the news event, we had a big push down because of how good the news was on the high impact for the dollar. So of course the equity market was pushed down, started to sell off, pushing down into some liquidity pools. In this case, the fair value gap on the hourly, it pushed through, but before it closed well above. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get another test down to the fair value gap, but just on the edge. So maybe like 5036, possibly the center at 5034, and then see if we can't buy up out of that level. Let's see. Yep. So the last 15 minute, we retested the midnight open and was unable to push through. We also have a bearish fair value gap sitting right here. I'm looking at the 15 minute now. So in the short term, this is something to pay attention to. What we may end up getting is a rejection from here, from this level, back down to the fair value gap, like I was just mentioning on the hour, that it may come down, bounce, and then we see a push upwards. So for the next hour or so, because of high impact news at 10, price likely won't settle till 10:15, 10:30. So we have about an hour before price settles. And this is, a likely scenario that'll play out. It could also play out like this. Right. All right. Looks like it never did touch that level I thought it would. I thought it would buy out, but it found support well before the level I thought it would find it at. It swept these two lows earlier in the week and has been buying out, but it's still in the range. So it has not taken a high yet. The low was put in on Tuesday. And so what we need to pay attention to now, it has taken the daily high from yesterday already, but let's see if it wants to challenge the weekly high. We do have the new week opening gap above us at 18,041, which looked like it got close to today. We'll probably retest that. If we do challenge today's high and we buy up this morning, we'll likely end up challenging the new week opening high at 18,037. So let's pay attention to price when we get there. If you're in with multiple contracts, that may be a partial level for you to take some profits as we look to see if price can really push higher than the weekly high. If it does push above 18,037, 18,074, which is about half of the wick, could be another landing spot. Ultimately, the high is around 18,119. All right, let's look at the lower time frame to see if there's anything to see there on the 4 hour. You see we have a nice bearish candle here. So we have been pushing down, and most of that came from the 8:30 news event. I'm just looking for where it may find some support. I'm thinking at 871 could be a level, which is about half of this candle. It could also be half of this wick at 893. So 893 and somewhere around 860, 865 is levels I'm looking at for price to settle if it does push down. Again, we have a news event coming up shortly, and so price could go really either direction. I know some of you are already in longs, and good luck to you on those situations. Um, Let me just quickly look at this. All right, we're in a bullish fair value gap, so we need price to hold here. We need the candle bodies to finish in that level if we're not gonna go lower. I just pointed out some lower levels, but for all of you in longs, you do want price to settle here and start pushing higher. The lower edge of this fair value gap is 917. So 917 is where you'd like to at least see the body of the candle remain for the next hours and then push higher. All right, with that being said, let me get down because the opening bell is coming. I'll take another look right after the opening bell and see if there's anything else I see. But for now, let's just watch the opening bell do its work. And welcome again to everyone. Good morning. Let me go ahead and put up these session highs. All right, there we go. And here we are. Happy Friday, everyone. Oh, Ray, you entered using the 15-second, man. That's sniper there. Chuck and Fuego, good morning. Right, so on the session extremes, we have the London high already taken. Now let's find the London low. The London low was taken during the 8:30 push downwards. So both London levels are done. We have the Asia high, which was ran here during London session at 2:15. Asia low was just ran at 8:45. So we have both Asia sessions also done. Get rid of the session highs and lows until New York comes out at 10 o'clock. There we go. All right. Oh, wow. Look at that. I was expecting a mild opening range here because the high impact news coming at 10. All right, Tommy, good morning. Yeah, so last night when I was looking at the hourly, yep, so last night I was looking, it was right in this range, and this is what I thought price would do when it was here. I thought we would get a play into this fair value gap, and then we would run off, right? And then I woke up this morning and I saw it had done this, and it was right here. And so I was like, well, it technically is playing into this order block here, but I still think it's going to go here, especially with the news this morning. I thought that's what will bring us here. So what I'm looking at now is for price to continue. And let's see if we do reach this fair value gap. And when we get the news at 10, let's see if we start to see price push out. It may not even be 10. It may be just before 10. But anyway, let's look at, pay attention to this level or wherever price is right around 10 o'clock and look and see if we get the opposite direction then. We can drop back down to the 15. Oh, thanks for that, Ray. I was looking for that. I wanted to monitor to see if we close in a potential daily fair value gap. Funny, Brad. Morning, Fred. All right, Sniper. While we're waiting on this, do want to do a small recap of yesterday afternoon, right before we got off the stream. And this is a lesson in patience for me and anyone else. If you were on the afternoon session yesterday, we ended right around 340, which is this candle right here. And I had this candle right here marked up as this big bullish impulse candle at 325. I was looking at it and I said, yeah, that's kind of what we were hoping for the whole time, because I was thinking it would come down and tap this new day opening gap right here, which it did. And there was also another. Let's see. Oh, that's right. Yesterday, it was also the midnight open here. And that's where these candle bodies stopped. Right here was the midnight open yesterday. And I had been waiting for it to touch the midnight open, and I was hoping that it would stay on top. And so when it came down and it touched it, I said, okay, great, but you've taken all day. I was hoping it would happen when it failed to take the new high here and started trading down. I was looking for the midnight open, but it didn't touch it, and it went back up. Actually, I think the midnight open was probably somewhere like here. It was where the candle bodies were. And it came down close, but didn't. It started buying up again. And I think I got caught in one of these areas. I should have just stuck to my gun. I thought it should come down to the midnight open before it continued upwards, and it did. And then when I marked up this and said, all right, I want to see it retrace to 50%, I ended the live stream and I walked away, and I came back later. It retraced to 50% of this candle. And then that's when the big move happened. And it was right after I had closed off the live stream, in between 350 and 5 after 4 or 10 after 4. So you could have still, with a prop firm, closed your trade up here at exactly 410. It would have closed you off right here at 966. And the entrance would have been somewhere down here at 890 or so. So it was the move of the afternoon happened between 350 and 410. And so I just wanted to let everybody know that, yeah, through all of this nothing, and we ended the stream early, the move actually did happen yesterday for everyone who missed it. Hey, Vivian, good morning. Yeah, Brad, that's why I try to wait until 10 o'clock before I'm enticed to jump in the market. I've done it before, but it's not a good feeling. All right, we're right back at that entry I was just showing you from 350 yesterday afternoon. KB, good morning. A sniper done for the day. All right. Oh, that's right. You're in long. Got it. Yeah. Ray, what gives you confidence if you're in pre-market to hold through the opening bell? Just curious. Do you wait for like a sweep sweep of liquidity. So then you have a bit more confidence that the opening bell is not going to come back and try to look for that liquidity level, or do you use some other confirmation? Okay, got it. Thanks for that, Ray. Appreciate it. – 9:15 to 9:30. Okay. All right, open in 15-minute frame will complete in the next minute. Let's get rid of this. Yeah, that was an insane story. I'd be so upset that I hit a $40,000 trade during the combine. Especially if I had never done that before and that wasn't my normal. I would have, I would have loved to have done that in a real account. But I have seen it as a strategy that some people on YouTube talk about, is that when you're in a combine, go big or go home. They say if you can afford to reset, just go ahead and try to hit a couple home runs and go ahead and complete your combine, and then go conservative once you pass. But until you pass, go, yeah, definitely be aggressive so you can hurry up and get it over with. I'm not sure how well that works, but that's a strategy that some YouTubers are talking about. All right, retesting the new day opening gap from a couple days ago. Or we're not quite there yet, but we're really, really close to it. About 3 points away, maybe. The fair value gap that I was hoping to retrace to is at 17,857, 857. So we still have a good ways to go before we get there. We're still talking about another 20 points or so. It's essentially the middle point of this fair value gap we're looking at right here. I'll draw over the other one just because this one has the center line. And that center line would be the start of the fair value gap on the hourly. Mm-hmm. Ray, is the Discord still not working for you? All right. Remember the center line of this fair value gap here is the level I was mentioning that when we get there, let's look and see how price reacts. Hmm. All right, Ray, let me take another look at that because that's just not right. Ray, when you get a second, can you try that link there? Hey, Splash, how's it going? All right, so it looks like price is digging into that fair value gap on the hourly. Let me jump up. We can see it on the bottom left, but let me put it on a larger screen just so the fair value gap is a little more prominent there. Look at that. All right, everyone, keep in mind we do have high impact news coming in 10 minutes, or a little less, 8 minutes now. Look at that meltdown. Let's get down to a small time frames because of what time it is. I mean, it doesn't look likely that we'll have any type of market structure shift in this time period due to how much strength or lack of strength that we're showing here in Nasdaq. But you know what? While we're waiting, let's go ahead and throw up our comparison chart. Just see where everyone else is, so we know what we're doing heading into the next hour. Okay, Nasdaq clearly standing out as the weaker of the pairs so far. All right, looks like it's getting ready to sweep this low here, where an S&P would need to continue down to 513. So it's not unreasonable to think the S&P could get there, but it's definitely trailing behind. And then we also see the Dow, while it's selling off, it hasn't been selling off nearly as much as Nasdaq. So Nasdaq is the weaker of the three. Again, just like yesterday, the Dow was the strongest, and S&P is sitting in the center. So let's keep that in mind. We see the dollar for the hour selling off, which is strange that all three plus a dollar are selling off. So let's see if next hour, once the news kicks in, that we see that separation that we're expecting and we get the price action that we want. But it is good to see the dollar rejecting that higher liquidity level that it's been kind of bouncing around with ever since it took it. Well, it was last week. It powered through it again yesterday, sold off. Well, I'm sorry, that was Wednesday, sold off through yesterday, just kind of consolidated throughout the day. And then we saw this morning a big push above, but we saw the closure inside, and now we see it rejecting off. So we want to hopefully continue into next hour, seeing price trickle back down. And then we hope the opposite happens to the equity market. Sheet. Yep. Okay. Yeah, let's do it another time. All right. Hmm. All right. Let's get back over to NQ. About 20 minutes time, that was a 100-point move. Thought it might get held up around 855 down to 840 or so, and it just continued on. Let's go to higher time frame. Let's see where did it settle. All right, here on the 15, so it's not stretching far enough. So let me manually draw this in. That's okay. You got 30, but you said you did lose 5. All right, net 25 sounds like a good trade to me. All right, Dustin, good job. Okay, Brad, I'll fix it later on when things die down. Let me remove this then, so no one else tries it. Right. All right, D. Anderson, welcome. Oh, and ES, break 50, 30. Okay. Mhm. All right. 10 seconds and news event is here. Very scary. Yep. Mm-mm-mm. What a meltdown. Well, happy Friday, everyone. Here's that 1 hour breaker from yesterday. Let's see if it holds. And if it provides anything today, or if it just crashes through that as well. Let's get to a higher time frame. So a little measurement here of the full leg. We're almost at 70.8. Let me just move this breaker out of the way. All right, there we go. All right, so this is the full leg extension or full leg measurement. We damn near made it to 70.8%, but we have definitely made it to 61.8. So just on a retracement basis, we still could go higher. We need to be careful because we did break some levels here. We swept lots of liquidity coming down. So we just need to make sure that price isn't still bearish. So if you catch a bullish trend, just be careful. It may not go all the way back up to the top, but either way, looks like this level of retracement could send us bullish. All right, let's move that off now. Let's take a look at how everything fared. All right, the University of Michigan consumer sentiment was just slightly lower than forecast. A little bit better than last time. Last month was 79. This month, 79.6. They thought we'd get to 80. We didn't quite make it there. There was no forecast on inflation expectations, but they are letting us know they expect it to go up 0.1%. I'm assuming this is for the next measurement. All right, let's get back to the charts here. Since we did have high impact news announced at 10, I generally let price settle for 15, 20 minutes up to 30 minutes, and then look for a setup from there. So for now, we'll just continue to monitor price and see if it's digging deeper or if it starts to flatten out a bit and makes a setup that we consider bullish. Stretch out this breaker once again. Okay, so we did have a retracement down to half of it. Let me get back up here. Okay, so nothing's changed. I just go wick to wick as opposed to candle body. So we see it past 62%. Okay. In fact, 62% is exactly 50% of the breaker. Yep, you're right about that. Who's that who said Khalid? You're absolutely right. Down from 18,023, made it all the way down to 17,7 something. So yeah, 300-point drop in 4 hours. Not even 4 hours because this candle here just started 5 minutes ago. So 3 hours plus a fragment. All right. So in the 1 hour, we see we just hit a breaker, and now it looks like it's slowing down just a bit, just a hair. We can see, let me bring back the fair value gaps here on the 4 hour. We fell into a fair value gap here. It is the last one on the 4 hours, the last one prior to getting down to the low of this leg. So if this is unable to hold, then there's not a lot holding us between here. Let me look at the 1 hour. Okay, there's one more fair value gap at the very bottom here. And the measurement, okay, it's between 80 and 83%. That could represent a low risk long if we get down there. Okay, let's And here's your 1 hour breaker with a 1 hour fair value gap right there. That's a 1 hour unicorn. All right, Crab Nation, good job. All right, so I'll leave the 1 hour down in the lower left-hand corner. Take the big screen down to 15 minutes. All right, everyone, on the 1 hour, we do have equal highs set this morning at 5 and 6 o'clock, up at 18,025, which is also bearish for value gap on the hourly. So we do start to buy up, and that would be a good area to look at as a clean level for price to reach for. Well, fair value gaps are just areas that you know there was a gap in price delivery. So there was one side delivered and the other side wasn't delivered. And so you know that that's where price will want to return to. But the thing about fair value gaps is there are so many that it's not necessarily an entry model. It's just a support of entry models. So you're going to need some other factors to play in to give you an indication of which direction the market is going. And you can use a fair value gap um, to refine that entry, knowing that price will want to return there and then potentially go whichever direction that your bias. And that's for Frank. Yeah, it's just so I use it just as a place where I know price is going to go to, and then I look to see if it then gives me the either a breaker in that area or it gives me an impulse in whichever direction my bias is from that fair value gap area. But Frank, I guess to continue building on that, a lot of successful traders, if they use a fair value gap, they try to do it on the hour and above because you get far fewer fair value gaps, and those generally are a bit stronger and have more impact on where the market is going. So if you do want to do that, just make sure you're on the hour or the 4 hour or something in those in that range. And then once you find that level, when you're ready to look for a trade, you then drop down to the 5 minute or the 1 minute, uh, somewhere in there when price reaches that 4 hour level or that 1 hour level that you're looking at. No problem, Frank. Look at laughter. Get it. 650 so far today. Good job. Hey, one more minute. The opening 15-minute frame will be done. Does look like for the time being, it's lost some of its bearish momentum. But it's not over yet, so we still have some time. All right, we just started a new candle there. Today is also options expiring access many instruments. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know much about that, Ray. It's been a long weekend plus the morning data. Yep. Yeah, I didn't take into account the morning, the long weekend because I didn't even realize that until this morning. Mm. All right, everyone. I'm gonna go and refill my coffee. Just hang tight for a couple minutes. I'll be right back. Right. Let's see where we are. Yeah, I know. Khaled, it's one of those things when you see the pause, you're like, does this mean we're turning around, or is this one of those kind of tiny retracements because it has to do something? We'll say so far, 15-minute every candle. We've now had 3 candles touch into this fair value gap, and the first 2 closed above. And now we have another 11 minutes on this candle, and we'll see where it is. But so far, it's looking good. You're right, it did. So a lot of the points it created on the way down is stop losses of people who went short. It can come and take. So you're right, it did create liquidity. It can come take some of those stops and then continue down. Now let me get rid of this and let me put the fair value gaps back. Oh, they are already on. All right, looks like since it seems like it slowed down a bit, let's drop to a smaller time frame. All right, 7, 6, 7. Ah, didn't hold. I had a 1 minute breaker I was trying to buy out of. All right, let's wait for it to form on a higher time frame. Let's see if we can get a sweep of the low here and then create something else above. All right, so my 1 minute breaker did not hold. Let's get rid of that. Seven, what's this? 790. Yep, Nasdaq is has been running its own show all week. It seems it was the strongest when the other two were trailing behind, and now it's the weakest when the other two are pushing a little higher. It's good to see the dollar really pushing low this hour so far, really pushing back to those lows of just before the news event this morning, back down to the 104.263 level. All right, let's see if on the lower time frame we can't get a sweep of lows and then an impulse up. See if Nasdaq wants to catch up with the other two. Mm. Which setup are you talking about, Brad? Which setup were you looking for yesterday? Oh, that's right. You were talking about 740 to 760. I forgot about that. Forgot about that. You said if it comes back down to 740 to 760 when we were at, I think it was like 2 or 3 o'clock p.m. You said, I'm going to take it. I remember that. I think it was exactly this fair value gap you were looking at. Same one. Make it a little larger so you can see it better. There we go. All right, Queen, good morning. You must have had a good London session. I tried a short scalp in this area here, um, but that was it. Nothing major. No, we had I was waiting on the news to come at 10. So we had the opening bell, then we had the 10 o'clock news, and I usually wait 30 minutes for price to settle down and look for a setup then. Um, but it definitely retraced deeper than what I had expected, and so now I need to rethink my levels and what I'm forecasting for the rest of the day. Um, so yes and no. I was thinking we get a retracement down to around 860, 855. The extra 120 points. I just need to review the charts a little bit. Yeah, at AM, I'm assuming is when the largest trading volume comes in. Most people probably take a look at the opening bell and want to trade between, 8:30 and 11 o'clock probably. Okay, let's get another sweep of lows. Might be in the cards for us. Hmm. Yep, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, we just saw price fall 300 points in a couple hours, so I'm not sure how much volatility we're going to get in the next half hour or so, but we'll see if there's a setup to take. Let's rest here on the 15-minute here. All right, let's see if we can get this candle to close outside of the breaker. Granted, the breaker's on an hour, so we won't even know. We won't have confirmation for another 20 minutes on the proper time frame, but it would be a good idea. It'd be good if we saw it on a lower time frame as well, closing outside and see the momentum created, potentially a fair value gap or something to support price. Unbelievable. Oh, Brad, you should see my demo account trade I have. I'm in a long right now from 769. It's so disappointing. Brad, I just closed it. I had two contracts. It's like $1,800 in profit. I was like, I can't look at that any longer. Just when I go in my live, it never works out that way. There you go, Brad. That's the winning attitude. Absolutely. Oh man. All right. So there's 1 hour fair value gap that we have here. Oh yeah, this one's still showing because I drew it in. Yep. So this 1 hour fair value gap, you can see all the candle bodies resting above the 50% level, even though every candle except for maybe these two put a wick through that level. And they all held. And many of you remember this level from yesterday, right around 1:30, 2 o'clock, and that's where price found support and moved out of. Oh, good morning, Gavin. I think there was a handful of people, but it seemed like when we started the session, there was a couple people who were already in longs. And then after the opening bell, price just kind of fell off a cliff. And so because of it, many of them either broke even or had to exit their trades in profit. But I'm not sure how many people jumped in. I do know some people did mention that they caught some scalping shorts, but I'm not sure anyone caught the entire move. You can take a 50-point stop loss. Mm-mm. All right, TJ, good morning. Oh, all right, Chuck. Chuck, seems like you're doing well. Thanks, Queen, for reminding everyone to like the stream. Good morning. Any traders? No, nothing major for me, TJ. I think we're all a bit surprised at how far the retracement hit us, and so I'm not sure. I'm not sure how many people took the short all the way down. I know most people caught a scalp or a few points here and there, but I'm not sure how many people caught the move. It's been disappointing. I found out this morning that President's Day is on Monday, so there won't be any trading. Let's see if it makes it down to 777. Hmm. Well, TJ, be careful on the road, and I'll catch you on Tuesday. Yeah, I've never really traded on Sunday. It's just never something I've ever tried to do. No, I haven't been watching it, but I did see earlier. I think I saw it or somebody had posted. I think was that Robbins that ICT was in like fourth or fifth place or something last week. I think Patrick Wyland was up front. Either that was the Robbins Cup or that was I forget the other one. Oh, wow. Hey, yeah, Queen, I think he's talking about this 1 hour breaker that I have on the screen from yesterday, the same one from the afternoon session. So it's not a new one that was just created. It just retraced back to an old one, and I still have it marked up here. I stretched it across, so it's on the 1 hour. All right, everyone, we're rounding out this hour. We have another 2 minutes before we get into our final hour of trading this morning. Still, yeah, still waiting for price to do something here. I'm looking down on the really low time frames on the 1 and 2 minute, and it's just consolidating on itself for the last 15 minutes or so. So that's why we really haven't seen a lot of movement in price. We do have a new candle on the 15 minute that just opened, so we'll see if opening 15 minutes of this hour brings us something different. Hey, Shark, good morning. Welcome. Welcome in. A new 1 hour fair value gap. Okay. Yeah, it's true. The 1 hour is over with. So let's review. Let's review what happened last hour on the other indices. All right, we see NQ is starting to run now. So anyone who entered on that breaker or on the breakout, looks like you're in profit now. Yeah, it looks like NQ is the only one to make a fair value gap on the hourly. The others, teeter-totted back and forth, so they were able to put in wicks that overlapped another one, so they didn't have to worry about the fair value gap. But Nasdaq definitely has to push through this, and it's going to give you a little bit of uncertainty if you're long. All right, now on the dollar, we saw a big push down during the hour. So what we want to see is, yeah, it's fine for it to close in part of what could be a fair value gap, but leaving some open allows a retrace into the next hour and then a fall down. Fair value gap's right in the middle. Right, and we're back. All right, Splash, good job. Mm-mm-mm. All right, this orange box is just a measurement of this candle wick to wick. I just want to see where the consequent encroachment is. All right, everyone, I'm going to run and grab that last cup of coffee. I'll be right back in a minute or two. All right. All right, Brad, are you still in? Stopped out at like 90. Okay, got it. Oh, no, no, no. This fair value gap right here, Brad, is from the 15. The breaker is from the hour. This fair value gap is on the 15. Oh, I'm not mistaken. Yep, it's the 15 minute. The 1 hour fair value gap is lower. Hey, morning, Tommy. I did not, Tommy. No, I missed the entrance here, and so I used 1 minute scalp to enter. So, Tommy, the actual as price was breaking down, that we didn't really know where it was going to land, and we had to wait for a while. It took an hour for it to let us know that it was settling here on this fair value, this 15-minute fair value gap within a 1 hour breaker. And once we got confirmation that price was moving out, and you get this big bullish candle here, um, throughout this move, I was down on the 1 minute, and I'll show you in a second. I think it was this candle here. Stop it. Right, so I was looking at this candle, and I was looking to see if the next candle would retrace 50% of this candle, so I could just enter on basically a momentum, entering on momentum. I saw this candle, this is at 1109, break this high and close above. So then I was just looking for a retracement into 50% of the candle, and then I was looking for an entry, and I didn't take it down. I took it as it was buying back up on the next candle, and I was like, I need to get in. And so I ended up with a market execution. But that's where that came from. And so, no, I didn't show a setup on the screen for you to take. And it was because I was late to the party, and I was looking for an entrance, and I found one. Okay, now the question is, where do I want to exit? I'm in. I have a stop loss, but where should I exit? All right, we'll see if this works out. It may not. But for now, this is, yeah, that's what we got. I realize retesting this level brings price all the way back down to 820. But if that happens, I don't want to be in the trade anymore. Oh, okay. So you manually went in and said, if I get, so the daily loss is 1,000, but you said, nope, I want mine to be 400. Okay. I didn't realize that you could do that. We get a close bit above 925. Okay. All right, Queen. I think we're on the same page here. Here's the breaker. 925. There you go. All right, we want to break through this level and close above. Come down and see if we can't get something more. Hmm. Let's see where we, just in case. Yeah, you can. You can put a fib. You can measure down the move down. I'll do it for you. Right. Just started to move down. Okay, yep, we're just now hitting 50%. Right here at 868 and a quarter. 62% is at 905. 70% is at 930. Yep, so this fair value gap is right at 50%, sniper. And we had a small little fair value gap right here, a little one or two tick fair value gap that it just traded to. I don't even know if I can make that large enough. Jeez. Literally a tick, maybe. No loot. I did not catch the drop this morning. I think the drop caught a lot of people by surprise. So no, we were not able to catch the big move there. I mean, we had several subscribers catch portions of the drop, but I don't think anybody caught like a 200 pointer and ran away with $4,000 or $5,000. I don't think that happened for anyone. All right, so A got he got 1,200, which is nice. Which was a nice move this morning. But the thing delivered between 2 hours. It delivered almost 250 points. Mm. Yeah, the midnight open, I think, is where my TP is at right now. Yeah, I'm right here at 937. I mean, but if things look good and we still have plenty of time by the time we get up here, then I mean, there's nothing wrong with not even the 8:30 open, but the New York high. Even though to go 300 points down and then come back up 300 points, I can't say I've seen that multiple times, and like I can't even remember the last time I've seen that. I'm not saying it can't happen, but I can't remember. Yeah, Brad, you nailed that entry down here. I did too, but remember I was on my demo account and I just closed it because it was frustrating to see how well the trade was doing. CISD. What does that stand for? Is that what Ray was talking about this morning? Oh no, he was talking about option expiring OPEX. Oh, okay, got it. Oh man. Okay, sorry. No, yeah, he was talking about OPEX with options expiring. Oh, okay, all right. So change in state of delivery versus market structure shift. Trader 10. Okay. Wicks versus bodies. 10K. Okay. So I need a 500 point move here. Let's see how this candle closes. I do not like the way it looks right now. And let's get out of this consolidation, see if we can get some expansion here. Just in case I'm not paying attention and something happens. Oh no. Should be like that. Right. So now I'm going to put it at that low. You can't come back down on me anymore. You come back down to that low, I'm out of here. All right, everyone. Almost 11:40. Got another minute and it'll be 11:40. About 20 minutes left in our session today. Give me a second. Be right back. Okay, Tommy, sorry I missed your goodbye. You're still there. Catch you on Tuesday. Yeah, you're right, Brad. It doesn't show you that. It doesn't show you on your your TP and your stop loss what the dollar amount is. It only shows you what the dollar amount is when you're down at your entry. You're right. The broker doesn't give you that. I thought we would have got a fair value gap on the 1 minute. We didn't. There we go. All right, so we'll put stop loss at $400 and we'll see what happens. Oh, there we go. Trade's over. All right, A. We'll catch you next week. Back at it Tuesday morning. Uh, yeah, if it comes all the way back down to 740, 760 again, Brad, I don't know. I don't know about a third time. It's all right. Okay, some about break even for the day. A little better, slightly better than break even for the day. All right, we'll probably see a retrace back down to 50, so we can get a confirmation of this level when it overtook, and we'll just kind of have a trade back to it. But then again, it could just take off. Remember, this is lunch. It's Friday. So we'll see what happens during the lunch hour. And also when we get back from lunch, we'll see how the afternoon presents itself. One thing's for certain, there won't be a silver bullet today. I don't think it's going to hold, Gavin. Now, it may not go much further, but I don't think it's going to hold. Brad, you're right. It has been. It's been lucrative for a lot of people, and it's been clean too. All right. All right. Looks like we did get a handful of people to come watch us trade today. Not a bad turnout for a Friday. Right. All right. Let's go ahead and take a peek at, before we get out of here, what the indices are doing. Right. We can see that we've eclipsed the high on the Dow. If anyone went long on Dow, man, you're eating really good there. NQ starting to retrace. It's clearly still the weaker of the three. We have S&P having a similar issue as NQ right now in the middle of a big fair value gap, but it's closer to the equal highs. They all put in equal highs on the 1 hour. We got to the candle bodies on Dow. So Dow actually has it. It took out the high from 8 o'clock, but it didn't get the equal highs from, what's that, yesterday open. Actually, the close of yesterday. So the 15 and 1600 candle is what the target would be to sweep those equal highs. All right, we see on the dollar, the far left, it was pushing towards this lower target we had there, but it pulled back just before the hour was over, and so far this hour, it's not showing a willingness to push any lower. It couldn't take out the low of last hour, and it's starting to buy up right now, and that's probably why NQ is starting to lose a little bit of its steam. They seem to be tightly correlated. The Dow seems to be on its own program today, so we'll let the lunch hour play out as it does, and then at 1300 we'll look and see what opportunities are still on the table for this afternoon. Yeah, possibly it could sweep the 880s. If it sweeps the 880s, I think it probably goes a little higher, but I see what you're saying. If it sweeps the 880s and close, so you want to see where does it close. That's going to be important. Yep, good advice, Ray. Yeah, we've seen a crazy morning with a huge range on a daily candle. And we also saw a good sizable 100-point pullback already as well. So based on that level of activity in the short 3-4 hour span this morning and the afternoon, this being the end of the week, heading into a long weekend, no trading on Monday. So yeah, definitely let's make sure that we're careful this afternoon. The market makers may not even be making a lot of trades this afternoon. They may be taking off. Um, so we'll take a look at price action when we get back at 1300, and we'll figure out where to go from there. For those of you trading during lunch, let's look and see what you could be up for. I thought we were actually in good company here when we got a higher close here, but the very next candle came and swept lows, which is what took me out of the trade. And we see now it's trying to rebound. But in 20 seconds, this candle will close and we'll see where it is. Pulling off the highs. Let's see what happens. All right, it closed below the fair value gap, it looks like. Yeah, these failure swings are telling me that we're going to go and retest this level probably. Well, let's see. Maybe this candle will take out those highs and this won't even matter or mean anything. All right, what happens if we just measure this leg and see where we are? All right, so we had an exactly 50 point or 50% pullback on just this leg if you just take this leg here. So actually we might get a push up during lunch. And we're starting to see part of it now. But again, we got to wait until the candle closes. We need to see a closure above these levels before that's confirmed. So if it retraces, pay attention to 820. If it takes these levels and closes above, then the bull run is still on and I'll just miss out. That is pushing up towards higher levels now. I don't even know where this is coming from. Let me see what time frame that's on. Okay, got it. That's an old one. That's no longer valid. All right, I'll get rid of, no, I'll leave this here for now, just in case we get another retracement after lunch. Let's get rid of the measurement tool. Yes, we are. I do not have a video on how I set up my charts. No, sorry. All right, waiting for the closure here. Oh, wow. Look at that. Close back inside the gap. I was wrong on so many levels. All right, everyone, that'll do it for me for the morning session. For everyone who is eager to continue trading and can't wait for the next session, I'll see you at 1300, 1 hour. We'll be right back. Look out for the invitation. It's already out there. If you're brand new and you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that to make sure that you always get invited to the live streams. And on your way out, please hit the like button. And I'll see you in an hour. Cheers, everyone. Thanks for this morning.